Tata Consultancy Services, or TCS, is one of the largest technology service providers in the world, and their profits just cratered. In fact, the TCS Q3 fiscal year 26 profits report came in nearly 14% down year over year. But is this the disaster that you think it is right off the bat? Well, maybe not, because the loss is really being credited towards some one-time expenses revolving around restructuring of the organization and new labor codes in India. So this may not necessarily be an ongoing profit issue. It may only be a one-time. And what it really lays up the foundation for is where TCS is going to be moving forward. And I think this is really important, not just to people in India who may think about or may be working for TCS, but also for Americans. And we're gonna cover that in today's video, because what's not being talked about is TCS's huge emphasis on AI and future readiness. And that's what I want to cover today, because on this channel, we're really focused on what do we need to know and learn as men in order to remain relevant, respected, and financially free in a rapidly changing world. And TCS is a very, very good example. And there's some really good lessons that we can learn from TCS. So just quick note, TCS is India's largest software services firm. And over the past few months, they have been shedding workers. We actually covered this in a video a few weeks ago. I'll post a link to it here. But over the past 2 quarters, they have laid off over 30,000 employees. Now, TCS AI services, however, continues to skyrocket. And here is the inflection point. And this is what I've been really preaching, is that AI is where the money is at. AI is where all the bets are going when it comes to these large organizations. So whether you like it or not, whether you believe AI is going to be legit and game-changing, I believe it will be. But if you maybe think that it's all smoke and mirrors, regardless of that fact, there's so much money going into it. It is now too big to fail. But more on that in just a moment. Let's take a closer look at what's happening within TCS. So their revenues with AI services continue to skyrocket. Revenue is up over 17% over the quarter, reaching $1.8 billion in attributable revenue. And Arthi Subramanian, the chief operating officer, says, quote, customers continue to invest in cloud, data, cyber, and enterprise transformations to build readiness for AI. You see, the company really sees itself as the world's largest AI-led technology services provider. And you don't just have to take that from me. Listen to what CEO this name is a little bit difficult to pronounce. CEO K. Krithivasan, he says, this person says, the growth momentum for Q2 fiscal year 2026 continued into Q3 fiscal year 2026. And we remain steadfast in our ambition to become the world's largest AI-led technology services company. So it's coming straight from the top down. They see themselves as the largest AI technology services company. And in fact, they're putting their money where their mouth is and have actually trained over 200,000 employees in advanced AI skills. Again, follow the money, hold that thought. We'll be right there in a moment. Now, what they also state is that these AI embedded projects now involve 54 of their top 60 clients, with just about 90% of clients generating more than 20 million annually. And like I said, guys, we are now in the follow the money stage. Whether or not you believe AI is transformational is besides the point. I happen to believe it, but that's besides the point. You got to look at where the money's going. And you need to align your skills with where the market's at. For example, you might love horse and buggy. You might just think horses and buggies are the best thing in the world. But if there's not enough money in the horse and buggy market, you might need to shift your skill set. And I want to kind of emphasize this a little more. Let's double click on that idea of building skill sets that are relevant, that generate income, okay? For example, Microsoft, for example, in India has committed over $17 billion in infrastructure. It's going to be well over $17 billion. And TCS and companies like TCS want to capitalize on these investments. So upskilling their team is absolutely vital. You want to get a job, you want to land a client, you need to be going where the problems are at. These companies really want to implement AI, automation, efficiency within their organization. So if you don't have these types of skills, if you're not committed to learning these types of skills, you're just not going to be employable. And I said this in a video a few weeks ago, and people got upset at me, but I'm just going to repeat it again. If I'm on a call with someone and I'm considering hiring them, they're applying for a job or for a position at, with me directly or with the company I work with, I'm going to ask them, how are you using AI to be more efficient? And if their answer is, I'm not using AI, I'm sorry, it becomes very hard to hire that person. It just does. And if you hold there for just a moment, I'm going to give you a very simple ABC plan to make sure that you stay relevant. This is the same thing that I'm doing to remain relevant, respected, and financially free. So let's just also point out that these investments like Microsoft's making in India, it doesn't stop in India. This is happening all over the world. I mentioned this in a video the other day. If you go to Microsoft's official website, they officially are saying they want to build 400 data centers around the world. I know a guy that works for them. He says it's closer to 1,000. So they're building data centers all over the world. And again, it's not just Microsoft, guys. There are hundreds of billions of dollars being poured into AI technology. And one thing that we have seen and we have covered on the channel, and if you're subscribed and if you watch videos, you will know this. One thing that we do know is that AI is not there yet. We are not seeing AI just replacing hundreds of thousands, millions of people overnight. Last year, there were about 55,000 layoffs directly attributed to AI replacement. And we have seen companies like Salesforce and Klarna and other companies saying, hey, we are actually eliminating humans because AI and automation is taking that task. So that is happening, but not at massive scale. But what is happening at massive scale, which we covered in a video a little while ago, as well, is that employers are more and more aggressively looking at AI as being a vital part of your skill set. And if you hadn't got the message, I hope this video kind of hits home with you that, hey, it's not just enough to sit on the sidelines and think about AI. You got to get in the game. So I want to give you a 4-step process to staying relevant, respected, and financially free. This is, I think, the 4-step process that's more valuable than anything else. And I'm going to lay it up here in just one moment. But what I also want to say is this. Just personally, I think this is one of the most important times to upskill yourself and make sure you're working with clients and working with organizations that are building skills that are relevant. I've had to turn down projects because I said, is that the type of skill set that I want to focus on? Yeah, I can make some money now, but is that what I want to be building on now? Or is that a distraction from something that can actually position me well in the market for what comes next? And I think that's an important question to ask yourself is, are the problems I'm solving now, are they relevant in the future? Okay, so with all that said, let's focus on, hey, Mark, let's say you're with me here. Mark, I agree, AI is important. I want to remain relevant, respected, and financially free. What do I do? What do I do? Okay. And by the way, if you subscribe to my newsletter, that's a huge step up too. Once a week, I'll send out an email with the top stories and some of the most important tools that I'm looking at. You go to aiupdate.ai and get subscribed. Again, it's totally free. But what are these 4 steps here? The first step is you got to look at the problems that you're solving on a regular basis and test AI tools to try to solve those problems. Go to your management, go to friends, read blogs, check out YouTube, look at specifically in your field what AI tools are available, how can you learn them and solve problems. Okay, that's A. B, step 2, be public. Make sure everybody knows what you're doing. Make sure everybody understands that you are forward thinking, that you're adapting the new tools, and that you are serious about it. C, make connections with fellow innovators. As you are public, as you are testing new tools, as you're trying new things and sharing them, people will pay attention. So make sure you're connecting with those people Don't just be a lone wolf. I know it's easy. I'm a bit of a lone wolf too, but make the connections. Make sure people know that you're working on these different projects. Make sure you're hopping on your phone and calling people. Make connections with people that are also innovating. Step 4, repeat. Just keep going through that process, iterating, testing the tools, solving problems. And your goal here over the next month to 3 months to a year is to start to have like a nice tool set of AI tools, a nice system of AI processes in your toolbox. And what's really important about this is not only are you going to be improving your life, you're going to be upskilling, but you're going to learn to speak the language that's really, really going to be important moving forward. And what's going to happen is this increases your negotiating skills when it comes to new customers, new clients, new projects, when it comes to speaking to your boss and asking for a raise. Hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what I bring to the table. And I want to just cover this. I want to share a story here because I think it's important. Because understanding how to negotiate for yourself is also becoming a very important skill. You know, we're moving into this world, and I covered this in a video a few weeks ago. I'll post a link to it here, where a lot of people are being fired from their jobs and then being rehired back as independent contractors. As an independent contractor, the negotiation process is different. You're a 1099 as opposed to a W-2 employee. And so there's a dynamic there. Regardless, I want to share just a quick example because I was speaking to a guy, a sales guy at one of the organizations that I work with. And he was kind of explaining to me that he felt like he wasn't being compensated properly. And, you know, he says, I'm getting on these types of calls, but I'm not comped commission for those. And I'd like to be more commission based and He was kind of going into some of the problems he had with the way he was being compensated. So the first thing I said to him was, well, listen, that's something you probably want to talk to your boss directly. I'm here to help, consult, help you build out systems, but you need to talk to him there. But what I also said is, but listen, before you go and you try to negotiate salary and compensation, you need to be doing the basics right. There are things that you need in your tool belt that you don't have right now. For example, are you replying back to emails quickly? It sounds obvious, but are you replying to emails? Are you logging meetings? When meetings are completed, are you logging them? Are you properly segmenting your customers and contacts? Are you consistently reflecting the actions that you're taking on a weekly basis? Because for this young man, he's not doing a lot of these things, at least not consistently. And the point here is this, is that when you go negotiate terms, when you go to negotiate comp, it's gonna be very, very important that you have the AI, in your back pocket. That's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for subscribing, watching the channel. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.